Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the IAA Mobility Visionary Club. We are coming to you from the Munich Urban Collab, where the Future Tech Days are taking place. Startups and corporates are meeting to exchange ideas and energy. My next guest has experience working with both startups and corporates. Matthias Schanze, founding partner of Rethink Mobility Venture Capital. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much for the kind invitation.
What is Rethink Mobility? What are you guys doing?
I'm glad you're asking. My wife keeps asking me the same thing. It's we are a venture capital firm, so we invest in startups, and we specialize in mobility startups early on in their development.
Okay, let's talk for a second about failure. Everybody loves it when things go right. Nobody likes it when things go wrong, but failure is important. Why is it important for both startups and big corporate companies to deal with failure?
Well, failure is at the heart of it. So startups are all about trying out something new. And trying out something new also means that it doesn't always work out. In the context of startups, it means that most of the times it doesn't work out. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that's the source of learning. Failure is the source of learning. So if you commit failures or you do failures and you fail, you stand up again, you learn from it, means you're getting better. And that is the source of success.
It also means, though, when the startups fail, that you're losing money as a VC. Tell me what you've learned from your investments. What are the top 3 sources of failure, both for startups, but also for corporate investors?
Yes, so let me highlight 3 sources of failure. So one, for the startup, it's definitely the team. If a startup fails, usually the root cause is the team. It's the team spirit, the team setup. It's, people dealing with each other. And do they understand each other? Are they complementary in their skill set? Do they have the same goals, the same vision? So that is the main source of failure. The team doesn't work. From a corporate point of view, the root cause for failure in the setup to invest in startups is often twofold. One is you don't really know why you do it. So you invest in startups because everyone else does. But what exactly is it you're trying to get out of it? So often you have corporate procedures, processes, and organizations that invest in startups, collaborate with startups, and at the offset, they're not really sure why they do it.
So that lack of clear purpose and vision.
It's a lack of clear purpose. Sometimes it's also a moving target. So at the beginning, it's all about the image, it's about marketing, it's about innovation. Then the CFO steps in and says, well, what exactly is the return on invest from what we do here? Secondly, it's the long-term commitment. So whenever you talk about innovation in general, and specifically about collaborating with startups and investing in startups, you need to have some long-term commitment. It takes 10 years to get to success. And as a corporate, do you really have that time?
So you have to think long-term. It's not a one-night stand. It's in it to win it. How important is that perfect match between the investor and the startup? Or is it just about the money?
Well, it's not just about the money.
I thought you might say that.
Yes, well, it's not. From a startup perspective, you need to really understand, apart from the money that you need to fund your expansion, to fund your growth, what is it that I really need and expect from my partner? At an early stage, when you're like 3-4 people, it's something different than you're 100, 200 people and you're trying to expand to another continent. So you need, for the development that you're in, you need a different skill set, but you also need a different partnership. And that's where the investor comes in. Rethink Mobility, for instance, our ambition is to be the perfect partner for the best mobility startups out there in Europe that are early on in their expansion, early on in their career.
Failure culture is something that we hear a lot about. Tell me about the failure culture in Germany. Does it need to be stronger? And if so, how do you make that happen?
Well, I think it has already got much better in Germany. And if you look at the startups nowadays, again, it's all about failure. And I think German startups allow themselves to come out of the basement earlier with what they have developed or what they're planning to develop. And they're trying and checking it and failing with customers. And in that respect, I think it has become much better. Also, from the point of society, you can see that it's more and more acceptable at if you have failed in something. It's up until a few years ago in Germany, you would not see a failure on people's CVs. Now, if you read on a CV, I've been the founder of XYZ and that went wrong, that you put now on your CV, and that's a big change.
And how do you see that changing investment? If someone comes forward and says like, I failed, give me money. Are you willing to take that risk?
Oh yes, because then that person hopefully has learned how not to do it and knows better how to do it next time.
So do you see that as a positive?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Give me your number one piece of advice for mobility corporates, but also for startups. What would you tell them?
Now, my number one advice for a startup would be think early on about the funding. Okay, so speak to people like myself. Reach out early on before you need the money. Don't go out because you need money next month.
It's like don't go shopping when you're hungry, like your mom always tells you.
That's yeah, a bit like that.
Okay.
Yes. The second piece of advice to the corporate would definitely be have a clear goal in mind. What is it exactly that you're trying to achieve dealing with startups, collaborating with startups, or investing with startups? And the paramount advice is learn from the failures of others. Don't make the same mistakes all other corporates have done before you. Go out there, speak to other corporates, learn from other people's failures.
So what I hear you saying is don't be afraid to fail, but don't make other people's mistakes for them.
Oh, thank you very much.
Matthias Schanz, it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Thank you very much.
If you liked hearing from Matthias and you want to hear more from other key stakeholders in the industry, check out more episodes of the IAA Mobility Visionary Club. We can't wait to see you.